Okay, right.
Right.
So
Indeed.
we've had a bit of a break.
We've had a bit of a break.
Because I've been going through peak wedding season, catching up, and you've been on holiday.
Been on holiday.
But yeah, so we recently reviewed the 40 f2 pancake lens, and it was a really successful video. We really enjoyed it. And Nikon got in touch.
No, they didn't.
They said they like it so much, we're going to send you the 28.
No, they didn't. You're lying, though.
And not only that,
They've deleted your number from their contacts.
not only that, they said, I'm going to send you to Venice.
Yeah. No, I know you're lying.
What? How is this so unbelievable? This is what they do.
So it was their fault that your flight got cancelled, was it?
All of that, yeah. Yeah, so some of that is true. The first bit, the 40 f2 video was good.
Okay, yeah.
The rest of it, let's suspend our disbelief. But what's the first thing you do when you decide to go on a trip?
I know. What gear am I going to take?
Yeah.
How much can I fit in? What's it going to weigh? What's my allowance? What else have I got to get in there?
What's the best focal length? What's the best camera?
Yeah.
And well, I was only going with a backpack. I wasn't going. I was going for 3 days, so I got the 28. I got it for a bargain of £187.
Bargain. That is a bargain.
And that's probably the cheapest Nikon lens you could buy of any brand for Nikon Z. And it's also probably the lightest.
So the plastic fantastic.
Plastic fantastic. It's pretty much the same as the 40 f2.
Yeah. Jolly
Because
good.
these were designed originally for the ZFC.
Well, were they? Because they're full frame, aren't
They're
they?
full frame, but with the ZFC, a 28 would be about
42.
Yeah. So I'm comparing it to, well, I've got my ZF here for the sample as well. This is probably the most expensive, maybe the best 28 you can buy
In the world.
Maybe so. It's the 28 1.4E
Right.
F mount. You can see the big chunk. The FDZ's about the same size.
Slightly
as this.
bigger than.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is. I looked on the website before I came. It's £2,000 if you want to buy this brand new from Nikon today.
And you got a bargain on that, no doubt.
I got it for about 1,400.
Okay.
But you can get them for about £1,000 now.
Right.
But still, the price difference.
And you use that for all of your weddings, pretty much, don't you?
I do. Yeah, it's on this camera as well, actually. But you can see the obvious difficulty with the change of build and handling of the two. I would have loved to took this lens to Venice.
Yeah.
But look, I mean,
Yeah.
have the weight distribution.
And it's also back to the whole ZF handling thing. I mean, it's just...
I mean, I didn't want to take my smaller grip. I've took it off.
I've got to say, where's that gone?
Because I didn't need it with this lens.
Oh, of course. Right, yeah.
And I used
Small
the strap.
and light.
Yeah, and I used the strap. I had it around my shoulder or something.
Yeah.
It was absolutely fine. Yeah, I think that's about 600 gram-ish.
Okay.
And this is
Nothing.
practically featherless, weightless. But you can see the difference in ability.
Yeah.
Well, how do they compare the image quality? Will this be the equivalent price difference?
This is the question.
Yeah. So when I was walking around, I found it really good in Venice for the building handling size of it. Like what we've said, I just had it on my strap. I barely knew I had it. And I actually had an American guy came up to me. He had a big DSLR. Oh, you're shooting film? Oh, that's so good. Venice will suit film so much. I didn't have a chance to answer.
Really? Because he carried on talking.
He carried on talking.
As they do.
He was really nice though. He was really interested.
Yeah.
Oh, my DSLR's so heavy, but you know, it's getting the results, but I just film would just suit the whole history of
So you obviously had no idea about Nikon cameras then.
And then he kind of just went, I went, yeah, and then he walked away.
You
He
lied.
walked away. I just thought it's nice to go along with that. And I did, for once, for the first time having this camera, I used the retro dials on the top. Because I felt like I was relaxed. It wasn't,
Yeah.
you know, I was just enjoying it. I shot in, you know, it was the different knobs and the experiences. The problem I had with it was there's no aperture
No.
ring. So at first I changed that to aperture,
Right.
but the slightest of movements,
It moves it. Yeah.
suddenly I was on f16 by just moving it a centimetre.
Yeah.
It was, and I was knocking it when I was moving it.
Yeah.
I just had
That's
to change that.
not gonna work.
Yep. And the f-stop is just embedded in there. It's a bit tiny and fiddly to use, but generally it was a great experience with the build and handling of this.
Good.
lens.
Did you take any other lenses with you?
I took the 40 f2,
Yeah.
but I didn't use it.
You didn't use it, no.
And that's, the focal length. I mean, 28 was great for Venice. I didn't need anything else. I love I'm used to my 28 with my events, and I love it because it gives this like panoramic look,
Yeah.
more than a 35. But yeah, 2.8 was great as well with the aperture. Most of the time I shot at f4 because I've just wanted it, and I didn't need 2.8. It was an overcast. It wasn't like this, unfortunately. It was quite overcast all the time. Will it be sharp enough? We know it's a very budget lens, the cheapest one.
Yeah.
How does it compare to the best 28, the most expensive 28, and the 24-70 2.8? And this is one of the interesting things about this lens. It's not actually a 28.
Oh.
Dun, dun. So at close focusing distance, it's more like a 24.
Right. When you say close focusing, but I mean, if you're at infinity and a subject far away, is it still 24 then?
No. So the further the subject is away, the more it becomes a 28.
Ooh.
Yeah. So if you start from minimal focus distance, which is really good, this is about 19 centimetres with this.
Right.
This is a 28mm lens. It's fantastic.
It's about 8 inches in old money.
Yeah. So probably about there. If you're that, it'll be a 24mm. And that's because of, actually one of our viewers helped me with this. I put it on our forum.
Yeah.
Someone says it's to do with focus breathing and the distortion
Right.
of the lens itself, and every lens is going to be different, obviously. 28 1.4 at close focus distance is more like a 32. So when I went to do the sharpness
Wow.
test,
So that's a big difference. then.
yeah. So when I went to do the sharpness test, I was like, have I got it on DX mode or something? Right, so they're both, I'll put this on the screen for the viewers. One says 28 with this and versus 24-70 at 2.8. Can you even tell?
Well, no, not really.
It's hard
Okay.
to tell on my phone, I know, but I'll put the information at the top. So there's versus 2.8 versus 2.8. So on the left is the pancake, and the other one's the 24-70 at 2.8.
Well, yeah, but no difference.
On a bigger screen, you can tell the differences. If you can slide to the next one, I think, is it that at f4?
I keep looking at the one on the left as being slightly.
Between
I
them,
think
but-
that's, isn't that though the Z mount lenses? There isn't a bad one, is there?
No. That's the thing, there is no sharp, like soft bad lenses now.
No.
But if you look at the details, you might be able to tell on YouTube if you blow up on a big screen. The 2.8 pancake isn't going to be as sharp as the premium.
No.
It's just not going to be.
No.
But it's certainly, I found it sharp enough. You've seen my bench.
Yeah, no, really nice.
They're all
Yeah.
different apertures, 2.8 to f4
Yeah, yeah.
to daytime, nighttime. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, no, they were lovely.
They're sharp enough. I think
Because
when-
with something like, I mean, Venice is a very photogenic place, isn't it? With the views you're taking, you're looking at the content and just the overall, no one's pixel peeping that scene.
Man. For like my wedding, something important, I used my best gear, my sharper lenses, because we discussed this a bit. Jesus. Is that a bee?
Yeah, I think so.
What a bee's doing this time of year?
Oh.
Be a drunk wasp. Anyway. Yeah, with sharper lenses, it gives you the ability to be able to crop in and still get a good sharpness of that image. So with this, I can crop in. I've got examples shooting at 2.8 where I've cropped in and I'm fine. But with the more expensive glass, you can crop in almost 100% and you can make that the composition you want to make.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference between sharpness lenses now, really. Yeah, I mean, with focusing, I found it is a tiny bit slower, but it's certainly fast enough. I mean, I've tried to do an example on the thing, but it doesn't really show much difference. So, image rendition.
Yep.
It has heavy vignetting at 2.8, heavy distortion at 2.8.
All of which presumably is easily corrected in Lightroom if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah. My 28 1.4 has the same issues. So it has heavy vignetting at 1.4. Yeah, I mean, so with the colour rendition, do you see any difference with the colours between the 1.4 and the pancake lens?
No, it's very close. Throw it that way. I'll just try not to get.
Have you got a spider on your hat?
Oh, for God's sake.
I knew when I was using this in Venice that sometimes I wouldn't have that micro contrast, that 3D definition. That isn't just sharpness, it's like rendition and everything coming together. It's hard to describe.
Micro 3D.
That not to do with aperture, that I think that cheaper lenses just can't achieve.
You hope. To justify all that money you spent.
It's not all the time. You can't see it.
No, okay.
With a church, you might not see it.
No.
But maybe I am being a bit prejudiced. That why wouldn't I use it for this? I don't know. Would you use it for something really important when you've got
Well,
lenses?
for the same reason. If something's really important, you're going to use your best lenses because you don't want to take any risk, do you?
No.
So.
Yeah. Well, does it get your stamp of approval?
It does, although I wouldn't buy one. Well, because I got the Q2 with a 28mm lens, which is a smaller body just about and shape and so much. It's just brilliant to use on the street.
Yeah.
But does it get your stamp of approval?
It does get my stamp of approval. I'm in this dilemma at the moment with S-line lenses versus non-S-line lenses, and do the price, the weight, really justify its purpose, really. I think I'm in this kind of dilemma. Like with my 51.8.
So are you saying there's no real difference between non-S and S? It's not worth bothering about getting an S, or it's not worth paying extra if it is for an S lens? What are you actually saying?
Well, that's the thing I need to find out. I'm not too sure.
Right.
I think it's not as clear because every situation is different. I've been using my 51.2 for so long now, and I always do little tests of 1.2, 1.4, 1.8, and the clients won't know the difference.
No. Has anybody ever actually defined what the S lenses have that the non-S lenses don't have?
It's the coatings and the protection.
Is it? Definitely. Is that used, or is that Russell's?
Not really, because there's emerging of that. That's changing as well.
Right.
Like the newer non-S line lenses, like the 51.4 and the 35 1.4, they've got certain coatings on as well. So it's a changing arena at the moment. I'm not sure if cheap lenses or cheap, inexpensive lenses are that bad compared to the higher end ones.
No.
Anymore.
No.
But yes, how do you guys find it? Because I see on forums people get this and get rid of it straight away. They
Really?
don't like the quality.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
So there we go. Well done.
Okay, see you next time.
See you next time.